This episode of Chrisley Confessions 2.0 is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com offers a wide array of hotels and vacation rentals across the U.S., so you can find exactly what you're looking for. There's something for everyone, even those who are impossible to please. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app.
Welcome to Chrisley Confessions 2.0, and I have the one, the only, Grayson Chrisley.
You can tell things aren't going well because he had to bring me on here.
How are you, my precious son?
I'm doing good. Just living the dream.
Well,
one nightmare at a time.
Right. Well, you look great. You know, I love that your hair looks good. You're keeping yourself up. College life is, looks like you're doing okay with that.
I love it.
Just wrapped up another semester. So life's good for you right now, right?
That's good.
Good.
Birthday coming up.
I can't believe that you're going to be 16.
Be 20.
20. Oh, I'm sorry. I was basing it off of how you act.
Wow. That's the wrong kid.
You're going to be 20 years old.
Yep.
You'll always be my baby, but I don't really have a baby.
It's weird getting older.
Really?
Yeah, I see kids that I was friends with getting engaged. A kid I played baseball with.
Already?
For 5 years, he's engaged.
Good Lord. It's a little quick.
I know. I saw it and I was like, God. I'm not ready for all that.
So tell me kind of bring everyone up to speed on kind of where you are with things and kind of what you've got going on.
Just been going to school. That's all I've been doing, going to school, hanging out with my friends and podcasts.
Right.
That's really it.
And Two Sons and Me is going really well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that and how well that's doing. So that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So many people keep asking, when are we coming back on television? And you know that I have been very reticent on doing that. Mm-hmm. Even though several people in our family want to be back on television, I have made the decision that that's not what I want to do at this point in my life. How do you feel about that decision?
I mean, I like it, but I also like the money. But I'm fine with not being on TV.
So you're good with that. So you're not kind of like sulking like some of the others of, I can't believe Daddy's doing this.
No, I'm not sulking. I like to get paid every Friday, but it is what it is.
I'm not saying I'm not going to do it ever again. I'm just saying that I'm at such peace in my life right now that I don't have any desire for that to be interrupted. I don't want to change the course of everything else that I've got going on. And I feel like that for this space in my life right now, I have the other shows that I'm working on that, we're going to start shooting in Texas, but I love the idea of me being behind the camera and not as much on the camera.
Yeah. And I feel like the issue is people already know who we are.
Yeah.
So either way, it's not going to change. Whether we go back on TV or not, it's not going to change.
Right.
It's like...
Well, I think that, Savannah's, upset that I made that decision. And Chase and your nanny, Faye, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it.
That's been our whole life.
Yeah, but
or at least mine.
Right. But I feel like that, you're still, we still have these other shows that are coming out, but just for us to jump back into the daily grind of, 4 days a week, 26 episodes a season.
I don't think it's possible right now.
That's 45 weeks of us filming. And with all the other stuff that I have going on, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to commit to something that long. I like things that we can do for, let's do this for 6 episodes. Let's do this for 8 episodes and then give us some downtime.
I do like having more free time.
Right. And you're in
Not being
school.
obligated
And
to-
you're in school, and you need to focus on your school and enjoy that part of your life.
I am really happy that we're not filming while I'm in school.
Right.
So I feel like I wouldn't get. I'd have to come back and film and do all that, and I'd miss out on certain things there because I had to come back and film that.
Right. But don't you feel like that the family's in such a better place now? Everything's calm.
I feel like everybody's just doing their own thing.
Yeah, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. How do you feel regarding kind of where you see the family as a whole moving forward?
I think it's good. I think it's the best it's been in a while.
Right. And I think that, I mean, I don't think I know. I mean, I give all the glory to God for that. You know, we were, Savannah and I and your mother were at Mar-a-Lago on Saturday, and I received...
I got to go before any of y'all.
I received my award.
Don't drop it.
I'm not. I received my award here for criminal justice reform, and it was a very proud moment. It was a very proud moment because I get so much satisfaction out of helping people go home and their families being reunited. And I get more joy out of that than I do on being on television. And I feel like that at this phase in my life that I want it to be about being a good servant, about having a servant's heart, and about doing for others that can't do for themselves. You know, like changing, you know, what men and women are allowed to eat in prison, making sure they get proper medical care, making sure that the FSA and the Second Chance Act is being completed the right way. And also seeing that my kids can see that I took a very bad situation and turned it into something very positive.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I wanted to leave behind to y'all.
Yeah. No, I think you did the most you could have possibly done with it.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly very blessed for that. And, you know, it's your mom and I are in a great spot. You know, we're both healthy. We're happy. We laugh because all that stress is gone now. Mm-hmm. And to be able to have the joy back in our life has been a huge thing.
Well, I mean, I feel like the reason it's such a big shock to me, I wasn't necessarily old enough to remember y'all before all that started.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Like, it started in 2012. I was...
Right, yeah.
I wasn't, like, bits and pieces, but, like... And now I, like, see it, and I'm like... These are different people.
And don't you wonder how your mother and I was able to hold it together as well as we did, knowing all the things that had been done to us?
Yeah.
So if nothing else, you have kind of a roadmap to go by when things in life hit you, because life will hit you. At least now you know that you come from people who don't lay down. They might get knocked down, but they're not going to stay down. And so I feel like that there's a lot of good lessons that have come from all of this.
I've always said I would have never grown up as much as I did if it never happened.
That's right. Because, and listen, I've said the same thing. I've said that, I know for a fact that had this not happened, I don't think any of y'all would have grown up as fast as you did. Because your mother and I have nurtured y'all. We have protected you. We have tried to make sure you had everything you ever wanted. And your life has always been easy. And these 28 months was God's way of saying, what you came from is not the norm.
Yeah.
What I'm going to put you through is what the majority of people go through in life.
Well, I already knew what I came from wasn't the norm. I felt like I did a good job of understanding that. Like, I knew it wasn't normal.
And so tell me when you say that you knew that it wasn't normal. What did
I knew like the cars and the stuff like that wasn't normal.
You mean the lifestyle that you had?
Yeah.
And that you still have. But at least you have a greater appreciation for it now.
Yeah, I'm way more appreciative of it.
Right. Because now you realize what it takes in order to have that. Mm-hmm. But that's because you're older too. You know, mm-hmm. for you to be able to understand that and what things cost.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it fair to say, or I hope it's fair to say for you, that it's not the stuff that will ever bring you joy and happiness.
Yeah, that's right. There's like, I'll never get something and I'm like, I mean, I'm happy for a minute, but like, no, I mean, Saban has a good speech where he said that eat a steak, you'll be happy for a day. He said, but you change someone's life and you can be happy for your life.
That's right. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Okay, I'm like most of you. I love to shop online. I find it so easy. It truly does give me back more of my day because I constantly have Todd sending me things. Please get me this. Grayson, Mom, I really need this. Chloe, can we order this? And so it would be nonstop if I could not shop online. Unfortunately for me, I'm getting old and it's hard for me to always remember my login from each website, let alone what password I used. That's just a whole nother issue. When I see that purple button at the top of the payment options and that button makes everything so much easier for me, it just gives me this calmness. No need to get the wallet out. No need to spend time logging in. You can just complete your checkout at the tap of one button. It truly is one of the best features in this chaotic world of online shopping. Get started with your own design studio. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. What if people haven't heard about your brand? Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. See less carts go abandoned and more scales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Chrisley Confessions. That's shopify.com/Chrisley Confessions. This episode is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com offers a wide array of hotels and vacation rentals across the U.S., so you can find exactly what you're booking for. There's something for everyone, even those who are impossible to please. Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your picky teens, your sleep light, rise early mom, or your high maintenance group chat, you can find exactly what you're booking for. You all know that I have lots of high maintenance people in my family, from my kids to my husband. I mean, it's off the chain. And if we can find our perfect stay on Booking.com, anybody can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app.
244 men have been sent home now since May the 28th. May the 28th of this month, your mom and dad will have been home for 1 year. And in that 1 year, 244 men have come home right behind me. Because I was able, through God's grace,
it's insane,
and to work with the Bureau of Prisons to get the calculations corrected and to get these men home. And, I've sent you the screenshots. I've sent you videos of kids crying with their dad coming home, not missing their senior prom, not missing their final baseball game. I messaged you one night and I said, do you know this kid? You've played against him there in Georgia when you went to that tournament there in Georgia. And said you didn't realize it, but his dad was in prison, same time yours was, and you're both on the same field. And he knew about yours, but you didn't know about his. So that goes to show you that you don't know what your neighbor's going through. You don't know what the person sitting beside you at a stadium's going through. You don't know really what your friends are going through unless they tell you about it. The world knew what we were going through because it was all over the news. It was in every tabloid because we were a household name. But we didn't have that luxury that 99% of the rest of the country has. You get the benefits of being that 1%. And that sword cuts both ways. And so I think that for me, looking back on it and seeing all the people that we've been able to restore and bring families back together is the greatest legacy that we will ever really have, because we restored that many families and still working on it every day. And so I think that it's just a wonderful, wonderful place in life to be able to serve others in a way that you were not served.
You're right.
So, what are you most grateful for in your life today?
I mean, obviously, just our family being back. That and my school and my friends, and that's it. I'm grateful for everything, but...
How do you feel that your relationship with Christ is?
Good.
Do you?
I think it's good.
Do you find that you find peace in knowing that He is not going to forsake you? Okay. So tell me, because we're making this move now to Texas. How do you feel about that?
I love it. I'm ready to get out of here.
Because you've always said, I'm going to end up in Dallas.
I said I wanted to live in Texas way before y'all said y'all wanted to.
Yes.
I love it there.
What is it? What is your draw there? What is it that makes you feel so comfortable there?
I don't know. I just love it. I get a different feeling when I'm there.
That's a wonderful thing.
I love it there. It's like you can't describe it. I just love being there.
That's a wonderful thing to be able to find that spot.
I love everything about it, and it has everything, but still most of the state aligns with your values.
And we'll be leaving on Monday to be there for 2 days for
I'm excited.
To lock down filming locations and all that stuff, and to meet with the people of the town that we're going to be filming in. And so I want to clear that up. I think when I started out talking to you is that, how do you feel about me not going back on television? When I say that, I'm not ready to go back on television in a full-blown
Chrisley knows best.
Chrisley knows best format. I want to do different things, and that's what we're doing. But how do you feel knowing that the time is upon us, that it's now?
I'm ready. I've been ready for a while. I'm ready to get out of here.
I love Nashville.
I do too, but I'm ready to leave.
You ready to go somewhere different? Okay.
Been here too long.
We haven't been here too long. We've only been here 10 years.
It's changed a lot since we moved here.
It has changed a lot.
It's not what we moved to.
It's not the sweet little town that it used to be, or the sweet little city.
It's not what we came to.
We've become a metropolitan city, but it still has wonderful people. We're so blessed to have so many friends here and so many wonderful people in our lives. Nashville rallied around us, and for that we will always be grateful. And I'm grateful to God that we've got the opportunity to do what we're doing in Texas. I'm grateful for Governor Abbott. I'm grateful for his wife, Cecilia. I'm grateful for so many people in the state of Texas that have literally opened their arms and said, come home, come to Texas. And, it's been a wonderful, wonderful blessing. And I know when I called you and said that I had just hung up with Governor Abbott, you were like, no way. That's my hero. That's my dude.
Yeah, that's my favorite governor.
And so...
him and the governor from Louisiana.
You like it?
No, not governor. What's his... John Kennedy?
Yeah, no, he's a senator. Well, you love him.
He's funny.
Yeah, you love him. We're all excited about being in Texas. I think that I went to this place, Terry Black's Barbecue, when I was there. And my driver said, he said, where do you want to go for dinner? And I said, I would like to go somewhere, I said, that's private. But I really want barbecue, but I want a place that I'm gonna be left alone. And he said, oh, Terry Black's. So I'm like, okay. So he takes me to Terry Black's. And what I thought was going to be a 25-minute meal turned into 3 hours and 48 minutes. and everyone was coming up to the table, and Mr. Chrisley, we love you. Can we get a picture? We're so glad that you're home. God bless you. We prayed for you and your family. But it was literally it was one person after the next. It just seemed like they kept getting nicer and nicer and nicer. And your mom called and she goes, what are you doing? I says, I'm here at the restaurant. She said, still? I said, yep, call you later, because I can't talk in front of all these people. And I left there and I felt I had such a level of content that all of these people from all different walks of life knows who we are and are sitting there saying, we prayed for you. Mm-hmm. And anyone who looks at our life and does not think that prayer works, then I don't know how to help them. I don't know how to help them, because you and I both know that I used to talk to you when you would come and see me, and I'd said, son, turn all this anger over to the Lord. Get rid of it. Because if you don't, it's going to consume you. And look what God did. And, I had this guy here in Nashville who loves to talk shit, who says that, we got our pardon because we're friends with Donald Trump. That's not true. There was no truth to that statement. And fortunately, his podcast company is going to be sued, and he's going to be sued over making that statement. But no one, it's so easy for people to look at where we are today and forget where we've been and what we had to go through.
That's somebody that thrives off of talking about other people's tragedies. Mm-hmm. And that's the scum of the earth.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what he is.
And
he didn't have enough balls when me and Savannah called him out publicly on Instagram. He didn't have enough balls to respond. He didn't have enough balls to acknowledge it. But you want to talk about somebody, but you don't want to face them when they come.
And you would, but let me just tell you something in his defense. This is someone who is dealing with a lot of pain from his childhood. Someone who has suffered tragic loss, and who never had the arms of a mother to wrap around him and make him feel loved. So he is a vile, despicable human being, but he is a product of his environment and of what he came from.
But you know better, so be better.
That's exactly right.
That doesn't mean you bring all of your tragedies from the past and dish them out on everybody else and try to make them feel the way you feel.
Right. Well, hurt people. And that's what he does. And he has surrounded himself just by an ensemble cast of people that want to feed into that. And the sad part about it is that when I spoke to the attorneys that day, and they said, what do you want to do? And I said, sue them. And I said, you sue all three of them along with the podcast company. And it's sad. It's a necessity that it has to be done, because he doesn't learn unless you hit him in his pocket. But it's sad that you go out here and you say these things when he doesn't really even, he knows who we are,
Well, he kissed our ass at a celebrity softball game and then wants to change his tune.
Exactly. But again, he has to look at every day, he has to look at families and realize that that's not what he ever came from, that he did not have that nurturing growing up. And there's a lot of scars there, And there's a part of me that feels sorry for him, that regardless of what he says about me, you, the family, it's not going to change the level of pain that he has, and it's not going to fix what he was never given. And you would think from someone that has suffered that kind of loss that he has suffered, that he would not want to bring that kind of pain on other people. But again, hurt people hurt people.
Just an ignorant person. Very ignorant.
He's
fake.
Yes, well, he's absolutely fake. He's absolutely fake. And, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to sit and talk about it because, I mean, our ratings are way better than his, but it is what it is.
I don't know anybody that actually listens to him.
Well, people don't even listen to him in private, let alone in public. And I do mean anyone.
Okay, I want to take a minute to share something really important to me, and that's Good Girl RX, a female-focused health and wellness company created by my daughter, Savannah. As women, we so often put everyone else first and ignore our own health, or we're just told to push through instead of being truly listened to. What I love about Good Girl RX is that it's built around real medical care and compassion. Through their telehealth platform, women can meet virtually with licensed medical providers who take the time to review your health history and goals. If it's clinically appropriate, your provider may discuss personalized treatment options, including GLP-1 medications like tirzepatide, as well as wellness therapies such as NAD. Everything is determined by a doctor and tailored to the individual. As a mother, it means everything to me that this company was created to help women feel supported instead of judged. Everyone's journey is different. Results vary, and not everyone qualifies, but having access to licensed physicians who truly listen can make all the difference. If you're ready to take a step toward prioritizing your health, visit goodgirlrx.com and use code CONFESSIONS15 for 15% off at checkout. Medical care is provided by licensed physicians.
But it's sad. It's sad. And, you know, I refuse to allow anyone to steal our joy. You're not going to steal our joy.
I feel like you do a much better job than me for feeling sympathy for those people.
Well, I do.
To me, I get in full war mode.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you talked about my family. I have no sympathy for you.
Well,
I'm going to make it worse.
Right.
For you.
But that's not Christ-like. And, you know, and I understand where you're coming from. But if we as human beings lack empathy for other people that's hurting, then we become a part of the problem.
You can say what you want about me, but as soon as you start hitting on other people in my family, that's when we have a problem.
Well, you know, and listen, I think that's admirable. I mean, it's how you've been raised.
Because I can let anything somebody says about me go.
Well, you can let that go because you know what's true and what's not true.
You say something about, like I said earlier, I know you can handle it more than everybody else can. You say something about Mom or Savannah, I'm ready to take the gloves off.
That's exactly right.
I will do anything to make your life a living hell.
Well, you know, we're going to work on that, folks. I'm going to work on my son and on his mode of revenge, because
Don't talk about my family.
Because most people are not worthy of revenge. Most people are really not worthy, and this individual certainly is not
just
worthy.
Like you said earlier.
And remember,
you go low, we go lower.
Right. And listen, what he needs to remember is that he has a child now, and he don't know what she's going to do. So be careful.
Some hell.
Be careful about spitting up in the air because you don't know where it's going to land. And based on his genetics and what he comes from, he ought to be very careful about how he spits, because it could be what came from the grandmother could be passed on to the granddaughter.
He's got more skeletons in his closet than...
He's got plenty, and I'm trying not to be petty and expose those. But on my report that I just received, he has plenty. I mean, he probably should start worrying about his taxes and how he files them, and his other co-hosts, how they file their taxes and their tax payment plans. And
he's a big skier, isn't he?
All of that. I don't know anything about what he does athletically.
No, he's a big skier. Like, he loves to play he loves to go to like places that has snow.
Well, I'll stay out of that one. I'll just not comment. But what we will say is that if your house ain't clean, don't start cleaning somebody
That's what I'm
else's.
saying. It's always the people that got more issues than everybody else
That's talking the
wants to talk
loudest.
about somebody.
But the reason they do that, son, is to deflect the attention
See,
from them.
we leave people alone. It's the people that come to us.
That's right.
That-
That we
okay.
have to respond to.
Now, we're going to show you why people call us an asshole.
Well, I feel like that at the end of the day, people are people. They're going to do human nature. People are inherently, people are either good or bad. And he's just a bad person. And I'm going to pray that God will temper his heart, bridle his tongue. And if God doesn't do that, then this lawsuit will. So you started this, we didn't. But we'll see it to the end.
He started this while y'all were...
He did it when I was not here.
When
to
you
be able
weren't
to
here to
respond
defend
him.
yourself.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And that is the biggest
bitch move you can
bitch
have.
move you can possibly do. You want to pick on somebody that can't. Well, I can promise you, me and Savannah gave him a voice. I tagged him in an Instagram post.
And you got
He
nothing.
still wouldn't say anything. I'm like, okay, you want to talk about two people that can't
And
defend
everyone here in
themselves.
Nashville's talking about him.
But
But they've been talking about him for years.
The ones that can't defend themselves, that's who you want to pick on. But you got family members coming at you that can defend themselves and are calling you out, and you don't say anything.
What gets me is why he doesn't want to talk about his past. He wants to talk about everybody
You talk about our
else's.
past. Let's talk about yours.
That's it. He doesn't want to talk about that past and all the skeletons that's in his closet that I can't expose and will if he continues
If you
on.
didn't understand, you and really our family are the last people you want to talk shit about. Because we will dig up stuff that happened when you were a teenager.
We'll dig up things that was in your dreams. We will know about what your worst dream
We'll
was.
bring up stuff that even you forgot about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Again, I feel like that we're at a great place in our lives. There's always going to be someone making noise, but we get to at this point decide how loud that noise becomes by how much we feed it.
He's got to talk about us to get ratings.
Well, he needs to. Obviously, that didn't help him either because his numbers were still lagging on that same episode. But at the end of the day, we're in a good spot, and I'm grateful to God that we're where we are. You're working out again. Mm-hmm. It is such a joy to be able to be in the gym with you to work out, and to see you looking the way that you look. I mean, you look so good, and you've put on how much weight?
Over 30 pounds.
About 30 pounds. And that's all, folks, that is all muscle, because he was changing today, and me and Chase was like,
I was 134, and I'm in November, December. Mm-hmm. I'm 165 right
Okay.
now. So 31 pounds.
right, good for you. Well, it shows, and you look great. You look great.
I can tell, and I see pictures of me before. I was like,
Way too skinny. Yeah, way too skinny. How do you think things have changed for you? Because you're going to be 20 years old. How do you view life today, going into your 20s, that's different than when you were in your teens? What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
My teens.
What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Calm down. I was angry in my teens. From about 16 to 18.
What was you angriest most about?
Everything that happened. I was angry about it, why it happened. And then eventually I was like, kind of saw, I mean, it wasn't a good thing by any means, but I saw what came from it. And I was like, okay.
And you saw that God took something that was meant for harm and turned it into something meant for good. Mm-hmm. So it's
also showed me to not stress about a lot of small things.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That is one of the greatest joys for me, is that at the lowest point of my life and the greatest level of adversity, I was still able, your mother as well, to stand and allow y'all to see that this is not going to break us. Mm-hmm. What is happening is not going to break us. It's not going to destroy us. This is a tough time, but we'll get through it, just like so many other millions have gotten through it. We're no exception. We're not better, and we're not worse. We survived it. But I can tell you, son, you already know this because I say it to you all the time, it was my walk with Christ. My walk with Christ became so much deeper, and I had such a greater level of connectivity to my Lord and Savior. And I don't have that, I don't have anger. I mean, I was asked this question, y'all have asked it of me, and I've had other people in interviews ask me, but Todd, you have to be angry. You know, you have to be mad. I know you're mad. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I have seen the good that has come from this. I have seen, yes, it was hard, but the rewards of what it's done for my family far exceed anything that was meant to harm us. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you look at it now, look at what happened, just as a recap. Look at what happened. The two prosecutors that prosecuted us, gone. No longer prosecutors. Careers down the drain. A judge that was an Obama-appointed judge that is the ignorance of this woman.
She shouldn't have had her job in the first place.
She would have never had it if it had not been for DEI. Should have never had it. But look at her lackluster career, and how
was it 40% of cases overturned?
Yeah, and how her own colleagues laugh at her in closed doors, you know, behind closed doors. How they talk about she needs help, attorneys there on staff have to help her understand the case law, that she doesn't know anything about a financial case.
As a judge, you shouldn't have to have people explaining.
But again, she was elevated into that position, not because of her brilliance.
Not because of her qualifications,
no,
but because she fit
that mold.
Fill a quota.
That's exactly right. But, you know, that woman she's ratchet, and she's going to be that way. Her only biggest claim to fame was that she presided over the Chrisley's trial. She
did a pretty lousy job of that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's her claim to fame. And it went on her Wikipedia immediately because she had it put on there. But look at her lackluster career. Look at the two prosecutors that have lost their careers as prosecutors. Then look at the Georgia Department of Revenue, how they had to settle with us financially. Then you look at other settlements that have come recently that have been settled out of court. And sit and tell me there's not a God.
I feel bad for families like us that have to go through that same situation with her.
Yes, that's right. Because she should not be in the position that she's in, which is why I'm advocating every day for there to be term limits on these judges and that the prosecutorial immunity be stripped from these prosecutors.
If they didn't have immunity, the two that prosecuted us would have been in jail.
Exactly. But let me just tell you, and they still might get there. But let me just tell you something. You strip the prosecutorial immunity away from these prosecutors, the success rate of prosecuting these cases goes from 95% down to 50%.
Nothing is that perfect.
That's right. That's right. And the country should see that now. The country should see what's happening in these courts and how these judges can lord over people and have this excessive amount of power, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying that all judges are bad, because I know a lot of good judges and that are educated and that are worthy of that bench and that are worthy of that robe and the credibility that comes from that position. But there are more judges that should not be on that bench than they are those that should.
What would demoralize me a lot when we were going through that entire situation is when I would see people like rappers, for example. You had a gun, you got in a shootout with somebody got shot, they give you 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you,
I remember a moment. We were Savannah and I and Chloe were in the Caymans.
Mm-hmm.
Had a thing pop up that a human trafficker was trafficking kids.
Mm-hmm.
He was sentenced to 115 months.
Trafficking children.
Trafficking. So you're telling me that my dad is worse than this guy that was selling kids?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what you're saying. Mm-hmm. By that sentence, that is exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That this person is worse than this person.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How did it make you feel to know that we were sitting in prison, yet we got a tax refund, and it was proven that we didn't owe taxes?
Well,
did that contribute to the anger?
A little bit. It was proven throughout the entire thing. It's just when you have somebody as ignorant as the judge was and the two dumbass prosecutors that...
Well, I don't think they were dumb. I think they were malicious and they were very conniving.
They would come in scrunging through papers because they didn't have their shit in order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
you're a prosecutor for the state of Georgia and you don't have your shit in order and you're having to swift through papers trying...
Now let's think about this though. Are the prosecutors as bad as the jurors that convicted?
I don't know. They say a jury of your peers, but there's no such thing as a jury of your peers. That doesn't exist. I'm sorry, but you put a millionaire on trial. It's not going to be a jury of your peers. It's going to be people that look at you and dislike you because you have money.
And because you've done something in your life.
And because you've done something with your life and they haven't. They're going to dislike you because of that. Mm-hmm. So they already have their mind made up.
Well, if you'll remember, the one staff member for Judge Ross that kept coming to us, there at the trial, told us that the resentment that the judge has towards your family because of what y'all have and what you come from is off the chain. This woman should not be sitting on this bench. And this was someone in her own chambers. Remember that?
She's ridiculous.
And it was, but I will say that woman was good to us. And she told us, she came back and she told us that I'm so sorry and I hope y'all appeal this.
One of the things that always stuck with me was when, I'm not saying anything that's not the truth.
Right.
What was her name? Annalise?
Uh-huh. Annalise Peters.
When she stood up and had the balls on her to ask for life in prison,
mm-hmm.
I almost jumped across the table with that bitch.
Well, remember, it goes back because this, and I believe this. When you are that unattractive, and folks, I hate to keep coming back to this, but it's just the truth. When you're that unattractive, she grew up, she's the only child, I think, between the mom and dad. Neither one of them are attractive, which means it's why she looks the way she does. Her father's extremely gross and unattractive. And the mother is very plain and generic. And then they have this child who I believe she's the only child between those two. And the only relationships that she could hold on to were ones that were formed inappropriately in her workspace. And you end up thinking that you're going to make a name for yourself and land in these Fortune 500 big firms, and you ended up reading contracts for Meta. Now, boy, you really knocked it out of the park, didn't you? And, look at how she came into court every day. She's just so unattractive. And when you're that unattractive, you've got to be a bitter human being. Because here's the thing about it.
I'd be mad as hell too if I was ugly.
Yeah, here's the thing about it. We were able to escape how ugly this chick was because court ended every day at 5. That bitch woke up with that mug and went to bed with that mug. So she could not escape it. And then you had Tommy Crap, who of all of the allegations that have come out about him and this is all hearsay, I have to tag it as hearsay, but we have been told about the inappropriate conduct that he has had with other co-workers. And again, he's just a little man who is just not attractive. He reminds me of Elmer Fudd.
Whatever happened to that fat slob IRS agent?
Which one? Well, you're going to have to be a little bit more explicit.
Josh Waits.
Well, Josh was not IRS. Josh Waits was Georgia Department of Revenue. And the last time I heard, he was a bouncer at a bar there in...
Oh, he's really moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Him and his miserable wife.
Yep. And so last I heard, he was a bouncer. Now, I don't know that. It's what I heard.
He's really killing it.
Allegedly, he is a bouncer or working at some bar.
Knocked that one out of the park.
And, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're in a great place, and they're not. So, again, God has a way.
God handles everybody.
God handles everyone. That's exactly right. And we can choose to be bitter, or we can choose to be better. And I choose to be better. And that's what I want you to be, what I want your brother, your sisters to be. I want all of us to be better than what we were the day before. Mm-hmm. I don't want the bitterness to consume us because at the end of the day, we know who we are. And to those that matter, the gossip doesn't matter. And to those that don't matter, they just don't matter. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like that we're at a place in our life to where I see compassion happening in our family. I see all of y'all in so many different ways because I watch everything you do. And I see how you're making your decisions towards things that some of them I don't agree with, some of them that I do, but they're y'all's decisions to make. And at the end of the day, I know that God has a purpose because God always has a plan.
I feel like I'm more of a thinker than the other two are.
Right.
Like I will sit there and think about something and exhaust every possible way.
Son, who are you saying this to? Because I say to you, Grayson, enjoy your life, son.
Well, I try to think about every possible way a situation could go.
Right.
It could, the good ways, the bad ways, the in the middle ways. Right. It could go this way if this happens, or if this is said, then it's going to go this way. And
right.
I try to prepare myself for every possible outcome that this could go. And it's exhausting.
It is exhausting compared to you just letting it be. Let it be what it's going to be.
It is so much easier said than done.
It is, son, because I was only able to come to that conclusion.
It took you 58 years to get to that conclusion.
It took me 56. It took me 56 years to get to that conclusion. And you don't want to wait until you're 56, do you? You don't want to strip yourself of that joy. Mm-hmm. Live your life.
But I don't know. I feel like I used to have a lot more compassion than I do now, because now I'm quick. If somebody is like, F you, I'm like, no, F you. Like,
well, I think that
I don't have compassion for you.
I think that has to do with your age and coupled with a lot of things about what you've been through.
I've just seen the way people, like we've been treated good by a lot of people, but I've seen the way a majority of people have treated us. Mm-hmm. And I have finally said, okay, you're going to get what you give. You give us this, I'm going to give it right back to you.
Well, I'm a firm believer in energy. I'm going to meet you with the same level of energy.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. You get what you give.
Yep.
You come at me a certain way, I'm going to give you more than what you gave.
Because we're that generous, folks.
It like we talked about on the other podcast, it takes me a while to get there. Mm-hmm. But once I get there, it's just like snaps. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to give people that kind of control in my life for them to be able to control me emotionally to that level. So now if I truly think that, you're just a stain or a blight on humanity, I really don't give you a whole lot of thought.
But I've had some situations where somebody will say something to me and I think about all the responsible ways. Like, don't say anything. They want you to say something. But sometimes there is something in me that just clicks and it goes, you know what? Fuck it. Just
Well, sometimes
Like-
there's a lot to be said for just
And I just say, you know what?
knocking someone.
We'll
in the
deal with
mouth.
the situation. And you told me this one time, and I've never forgotten it. Most situations you can solve by a conversation, but there's some that can only be solved by headbutting somebody in the bridge of their nose. And that's what I have lived by that my whole life. And I'll try to figure it out with a conversation first. If I see we're not going to figure this out by a conversation,
Then you're zoning up where the bridge.
then I might go to jail, but I'm going to give them something to arrest me for. I ain't going to jail. If I'm going to go to jail, I ain't going to jail for something stupid. I'm going to give them a reason to take me to jail.
So make sure the head, this part of the head lands on this part of the nose, because once that happens, the eyes start watering, then you tear that head.
I had into it with somebody one time. And they go, "I'm going to call the cops." I said, "Okay." So you call them. But I'm going to get my money's worth before they get here.
Well, I had a cousin one time, and we'll end it on this note. I had a cousin one time, and these two guys said, "I'm going to call the law on you." And my cousin said, "I'm going to do you one better. How long do you think it'll take them to get here?" And he said, "It ain't going to take them 10 minutes. He said, "That ain't but about," he said, "You're going to have 7 minutes left over." He called the 911. Told them, "You need to come on out here because I just beat the shit out of these two boys for stealing from me." He beat the living shit out of them, and they was knocked out when the police got there. So he told them they're going to be 7 minutes left over because it ain't going to take me but 3 to take care of what I need to take care of. And he did.
Can you imagine if Papa were still alive and he were down there with me one time and somebody ran their
Oh
mouth?
God! Well, your Papa Gene.
We would tear one of those places
Your Papa
up.
Gene, he lived for shit like that. So it comes from the DNA, son.
Oh, he'd love me. He'd probably be like, you go first. You the big one. Go.
Well, son, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad you're home this week. I look forward to spending this week in Texas with you. I look forward to all the things that we have ahead. And I'm proud of you as my son. I'm grateful to have you, and I thank God every day for my blessings for you. And I love you with all of my heart and soul, good, bad, and indifferent. And even when you make mistakes, I'm going to love you through them. Mm-hmm. I love you, son.
I love you.
Till next week, good luck and God bless.